Howdy guys, I have a replay for you between UBIICA and Aragorn. This should be interesting. We've got this on a random generated map. UBIICA is playing Shadow and Aragorn is playing Nature as usual. Both of them as usual, actually. Sorry I haven't gotten a replay out in a while. I've been a little bit sick. Still there, but I think I sound alright, I guess. You can probably still tell. And I have not had a place to record recently, but I do now. So, let's get started. Aragorn is building up his Tree Spirit defense, and UBIICA is got 2 units, 1 Nox Trooper. He's not using Forsaken because Hurricane tends to do terrible things to Forsaken. And UBIICA goes instant tier 2 with a Shadow Nature. I think last time we saw him play Pure Shadow, so this is a little bit different. Aragorn is rooting his Tree Spirits. It hit the Dread Charger and it hit the Nox Trooper, but they survived. And Aragorn goes tier 2 as well. So UBIICA did not punish Aragorn's tier 2 in the slightest bit. Although he did make advantage of the fact that UBIICA spent a lot more tier 2, that Aragorn spent a lot more tier 2 than UBIICA did. And this will may very well drop, actually. Stonekin, I mean, it is Stonekin. As soon as this gets up, I'm sure we'll see a Kobold Trick. And probably an Oink. Oh, nice, nasty. Okay, very good from UBIICA's part. So, that was an interesting strategy to use against Aragorn. Is to, instead of trying to punish Aragorn tier 1 for having a small tier 1, he used the fact that Aragorn had to spawn units in the beginning to get a tier 2 advantage in power, because Aragorn had spent whatever 120, he spent 300 power with these units versus UBIICA's 120 power with, or 110 power with a Nox Trooper and a Dread Charger. But we've got Aragorn rebuilding his well, and it looks like UBIICA is doing very well on power. Aragorn is not quite so much. Also, UBIICA will be getting Void power back because the units he lost they'll come back in the Void, whereas Aragorn's will not. I'm expecting to see a tier up from UBIICA, but we're not getting that. I don't think these Burrowers will do very well against Stone Shards. And on here, the Tree Spirits, I think, will take them out. So I think UBIICA's best move is to probably take a well in response to Aragorn's well. But I don't play Shadow Nature, so that maybe that's not the best move. But it looks to me that I don't know, UBIICA sort of spent some power and wasted a little bit, just a little bit. We've got an AMI Phantom here. This is going to be good for, well, you should know what they're good for. And we've got a little bit of waiting. UBIICA is waiting because he'll be getting Void power back. Aragorn's waiting because I guess he wants to well up safely. And we see both of them well up, and now UBIICA has very clear map control. In particular against Aragorn, this type of style that UBIICA is playing is going to work very well because Aragorn's deck is very tier 3 heavy, which and UBIICA is basically just denying tier 3 to Aragorn. He's just trying to wall him out, which is going to force Aragorn to go on the aggressive, which Stonekin in general is not the best stat. I think Aragorn plays as aggressive of a Stonekin deck as possible. But it's still, if you can force your opponent to go aggressive, that gives you a little bit of control over the pace of the map. And it's nice sometimes. He's picking on the tier 1 units because Tree Spirits really just hit hard. He could finish it off here if he'd microed a smidgen better. Okay, there we go. And the Amazon, he probably wants to kill the Amazon because Amazons are very useful against Nightcrawlers. Because for 60 power, an Amazon can take over a Nightcrawler and frenzy it. So it's just 60 for 60, plus whatever the damage the Nightcrawler deals. So the Amazon is a little bit of a higher priority for UBIICA to take over. We've got Stone Shards being hurricaned away, and these Dark Elves will probably be hurricaned in response, or oinked in response. I suppose that works too. And there's a Hurricane again on the Stone Shards, so I'm not sure this attack will pan out. UBIICA is fairly low on power, and Aragorn is also fairly low on power. So yeah, they're sort of just playing around, figuring out what's going on here, and UBIICA has amassed a pretty strong army, actually. Instead of this guy should heal up, and this Phantom should come over here to attack this. But it looks like he's looking for ground presence. Let's see how we're doing on power. Both players have a lot of power. Aragorn has more, so this well was probably a mistake. Maybe a mistake, actually. It's going to definitely bait... Oh, no, okay, Aragorn rebuilds a well as well. Never mind. I thought it would bait a rush from Aragorn, but it looks like Aragorn was not happy with the size of this army. But now UBIICA can play very defensively and just force Stonekin to go aggressively. And maybe counterattack. Interesting. Okay, interesting. These Razor Shards will deal short work of these. Stonekin's very good at defense. So I'm not, but Shadow Nature is also very good at offense. So I'm not actually sure who's more at a disadvantage if Stonekin is attacking Shadow Nature. It's kind of hard to tell. Good split attack here. Attacking two different wells, so you can't repair both of them. But at the same time, he's already used one CC over here. So that's going to help the CC out a little bit better as well. Good heal, because he wants to keep up this pressure. This guy should probably micro a little bit better. And maybe a nasty surprise here. I'm not sure if the nasty surprise would have done it, but maybe UBIICA wasn't sure either, and he thought he could get it anyway. But Aragorn, I think, successfully defends, and now Aragorn has a lot of units to use against UBIICA. So now I think Aragorn may be the one to take a well. Let's look at power situations. UBIICA's got a lot of power though. That void came back pretty quickly, but still, three Razor Shards is nothing to laugh at, especially if you get some CC. But there are no well clusters here, so that makes it a little bit easier with the splash damage not doing so much. UBIICA comes in with a Burrower. Looks like he's going to try, I guess, try and divert a little bit of power away from Aragorn. I think he's really just trying to stall for Tier 3, because the later the game progresses, the safer it will be for Tier 3. But UBIICA can tier 3, Aragorn cannot, unless he gains map control. So as long as UBIICA maintains map control, it makes sense for him to stall the game into a higher power scenario, to the point where he can tier 3 easier. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but it looks like there's an attack going this way, and Aragorn may be thinking about tier 3 here if he gets the opportunity. Let's look at his power. Maybe he's not thinking that. He does not. He's not going to have the opportunity for quite a while. Meanwhile, UBIICA is launching a strong attack on this front. Looks like this attack just lost. And we've got AMI Phantoms, which are M counters to fight Razor Shards. This micro could perhaps be better from Aragorn. Looks like he's trying to be aggressive more than deal with the threats. And it looks like UBIICA will defend, actually. Aragorn is defending this well. And yeah, the AMI Phantoms will negate the effect, the shooting effect of Razor Shards. Unless you get one off. Okay. Good oink and good oink in response. Notice that UBIICA waited a little bit to oink for the Razor Shards to turn around, so we could just get a little bit more out of that oink than Aragorn got. And now they can both attack, actually, and the Razor Shards cannot attack back. On this front, we see more Razor Shards attack. Razor Shards are very good against factions that don't have Frost in them, because the Razor Shards can hit from far away, and they don't do a ton of damage to wells, but they're basically like a fire stalker, and they're harder to counter because they hit from so far away. So they don't do a ton of damage to wells, but I mean, keep in mind that they do as much damage as a normal long-range siege unit for fire would do. Although that's a fire stalker is a pretty weak unit. Looks like the AMI Phantom just changed to hit what, long range, short range? I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not very familiar with the AMI Phantoms. Okay, so this repaired because the Hurricane kept the kept Aragorn's units off of it a little bit long enough. Meanwhile, Aragorn has 4 extra wells, and UBIICA has also it's 4 wells to 4 wells, not extra wells, just 4 to 4. UBIICA's got a lot of power. Aragorn has power, but not quite as much. So UBIICA has clear advantage at this point in time. But Aragorn's going to get a lot back in the void. And it looks like UBIICA takes another well. So now the longer the game goes on, the more it'll favor UBIICA. We see lots of Razor Shards. I believe Aragorn gets 16 Razor Shards, and we've seen a lot. So this is like a fourth of his total Razor Shards. So these are probably his last 4 charges. Maybe not. Probably not, actually. Okay. This just proved me wrong. Those are not his last 4 charges. But I'd imagine Aragorn is starting to run low on Razor Shard charges. It's possible that he... Ooh. Interesting. No, oink. Ooh. Oh, wow, okay. These have a lot of health. Wow, I didn't even realize that. The adamant skin really makes a difference. Wow. Yeah, I don't think the Shadow Phoenix is going to do much if Aragorn heals well, yeah. Okay, nice nasty. Oh, okay, it did revive. Interesting, nice. Nice. Oh, wow. Will the Phoenix revive? It does, wow. That was very nice from UBIICA. These are the type of Shadow combos that we all know and love. And UBIICA goes tier 3. Aragorn is locked out of tier 3. Instead he plays Cannon Towers because he's trying to defend. I'm not really sure what the point is. And I didn't even know Aragorn carried Cannon Towers, actually. This may be an earlier replay from Aragorn's before he figured out exactly everything he wanted to do. Because Lyrish Knights also don't seem very Aragornish. So perhaps this is maybe before Aragorn took his place up really high in the rankings. Maybe Aragorn was like maybe the top 50-ish here. I don't know. I'm just guessing stuff. But it looks like the replay goes on for a long time. So perhaps Aragorn's defense does work. It doesn't seem like it will, but maybe. Razor Shards will continue to knock back Silverwind Lancers because they are M units. And this Cannon Tower is really wailing away at them. Wow. Lost Grigori is going to be, I'm not going to say ineffective against Lyrish Knights, but Lyrish Knights will be very effective against Lost Grigoris, especially with the Cannon Towers. This will help absorb splash damage from any sort of combos with like a Soul Shatter and Nasty Surprise combos, and they'll do a lot of damage. But even if Aragorn does defend all this, I don't see what that's going to net him in the end. Yeah, like a comeback from this point seems pretty difficult, especially when you have like Shadow Nature Frost. So there's almost definitely going to be a shield building. So Aragorn probably doesn't have much hope for a Blitz Rush. I'm also not sure whether Grigori is hitting the shielded Cannon Tower. We've got other dragons to hit. We've got another Grigori here, and Aragorn's got a lot of power, but tier 2 units, not as much ability to use those power. The Grigori's with heals is a little, that's interesting. New meta. That's interesting. No, this I mean, I guess it makes sense that you would tier 3 Shadow though, because I think Shadow Nature has like among, I don't know, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say their tier 3 is pretty weak, but I mean you've got like Fathom Lords and Ashbone Pyros, or maybe Cultist Masters. It's not super weak, but it's maybe I think it is accurate to say that Shadow Nature tier 3 is among the weaker tier 3s. But if you add in a Lost Grigori, a lot of things change. But perhaps Aragorn does have hope, because if he can somehow sneak attack over here and drop the Shadow Orb, UBIICA is going to have a hard time recovering from something like that. I'd imagine we're going to see a nasty silver one, or spawn another one. UBIICA can spawn another one, there we go. Because I don't think he wants his counter tower getting up. We saw how hard he worked to knock it down. I mean, it does get up. We saw how hard he worked to knock it down. It took like a Grigori and several heals. Another heal here? No, maybe UBIICA might be running out of heal charges. That could be Aragorn's hope with defending with cannon towers, is to make him run out of charges. But I'd imagine Aragorn will run out of tier 2 charges probably before UBIICA runs out of tier 3 charges. Especially silver ones have a lot of charges. Meanwhile, I didn't show this earlier, but meanwhile, while this is going on, UBIICA is still welling up, so he's going to have a lot of power. Nice, nasty. We're going to see another one here, Grigori, and no taunt? Okay. Yeah, these Razor Shards really did a lot of damage. And we didn't see shield building. Possibly because he was saving up for the Grigori and he knew it wasn't going to drop. Because Stonekin doesn't have aggressive spells that'll deal damage to structures. You should, like, knock this down. Okay, yes, there's the shield building. And I'm surprised he's not taunting these guys. I mean, they're ranged, so it doesn't make a huge difference. And it's actually probably cheaper to heal up the monuments. So I guess that makes sense. They're still knocking down, yeah, and then the hurricane to knock down the rest of the wall. That's actually a fairly common tactic you see people use, is they'll use the hurricane to knock down a few bits of health, and prevent it from repairing. By the fact we see a burrower, we're actually, I don't know. I was gonna say we're maybe running out of charges, but there's no way UBIICA has run out of silver one charges, and you should probably make a silver one instead of a burrower. Looks like he's coming over here just to ensure there's no more funny business, and Aragorn is not going to get ground presence. And then it looks like we have entered a war of attrition. We're just gonna beat you with the strong defense. Or maybe we've got tier 4 shenanigans. That would be funny. Okay. This guy is going to come over here to attract these guys. And then the other Grigori is going to come in to finish them off. I wonder what happens if both of them use their attraction. That'd be interesting. Burrower just sitting here. Not really sure why. I think so far each side has dropped exactly one well from their opponent. Fascinating. We've got heal spamming back and forth. Grigori is not concentrating very well. It looks like he changed targets and missed that attack. But yeah, tier Grigoris against tier 2 units. Granted, those tier 2 units are very strong. They're backed by buffs and heals, and they are XL counters. The Silverwind Lancers are. But I just don't see this. I mean, like, how many charges of Silverwind Lancers, or of Lyrish Knights, did Aragorn just use up? Not even to kill a Grigori. Meanwhile, he's going to heal up. He's wasted no charges of that Grigori by him dying. Yeah, UBIICA just has a ton of power. Aragorn also has a ton of power, but as we discussed earlier, he's still tier 2, so he can't use that power. Instead, he's putting it into cannon towers. But it looks like UBIICA is trying to spam and overwhelm Aragorn's defense. Again, judging by the length of the video, it appears not to happen yet. Stonekin's very good at defense, even if you're building a Stonekin deck that's geared away from defense. Heal from UBIICA. The fact that it was... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, there's only one, that probably means he's out of charges. He's not out of charges. Okay, we've got triple attacks going to hit all three of these objects. Meanwhile, over here, we've also got an attack. Again, going for the cannon towers. I'm not entirely sure if I agree with that. I mean, I'm not sure I disagree with it. It's probably mostly personal preference. But maybe another heal here. And maybe the nasty on the Grigori. I don't know, actually. I'm not good at judging when nasties are good and when they're ineffective. Okay, looks like this attack broke through. So this might maybe defend. But the Grigori can probably taunt and then prevent these guys from attacking elsewhere, while this Grigori finishes off over here. He's not attacking. I guess is he just barely out of range? That's weird. No Silver Wind to finish this off. Interesting use of the Grigori. I'm not sure I agree with that micro. Meanwhile, this guy is still chucking away. Lightning Storm would be really good, or especially Soul Shatter. Soul Shatter would be fantastic. Like a Soul Shatter Nasty combo, man, that'd wipe out everything. I think it would. If I make a statement about like a Shadow spell being really awesome, don't trust me. Just throwing that out. Just don't trust me. I'm making stuff up. I don't know Shadow that well to say that like, oh, you Soul Shatter Nasty would wipe this all out. I think it wouldn't wipe it all out, but I don't have enough experience to say that it would or would not. And I'd rather not be made fun of for being misinformed about Shadow stuff. You can make fun of me for other things, but not my Shadow lack of knowledge. I'll admit that it's not good. Okay, I know this guy Nasty would take this out. I do know that. Also, if you spawn Silverwood Lancers, it'd probably take it out. This Sky Elf Templar heals really quickly. There's Aragorn's trademark Sky Elf Templar. This got destroyed, looks like by Aragorn himself. And we have more cannon towers. And another Grigori. Looks like the problem with putting two Grigoris here is that they're going to be CC'd really easily together. And it gives you a target to attack here. But I guess it does bait them all to one route. But yeah, I think there's going to be a CC here. Like an Oink that'll just knock them out. Okay, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, Oink for Oink. Okay, if one of these nasties, I'm pretty sure this would die. And I'd probably wake the other one up. Okay, healed up. Looks like the cannon towers were attacking them. They're attacking in sync. Very synchronized attacking instead of synchronized swimming. Heals. So close. No heals. If he's running out of charges, it may have been smart actually to use the Revenant's Doom. Ooh, interesting. Nice distraction while we've got 6 Shadow Phoenixes coming here. But I think a Glacier Shell will come and this won't drop, actually. We'll see. He's building lots of ice barriers to try and help absorb some damage. It does not work. And some of those Phoenixes will come back. Okay, just one. One will come back. And will it drop this thing? Dropping yes or no? I think it does 600 damage. Nope. It does 650 damage, actually. No, 550 damage. So it wouldn't have dropped it anyway, even if it had healed. But Aragorn is now tier 1. It has given UBIICA an opening to attack. We've got 3 Shadow Phoenixes. I think 3 will be enough. 3 is enough. And probably 1 will revive with all the inner side. Nope, never mind. None revive. And Aragorn quits. Alright, that was a great replay, I think. A lot of good things about both sides. But especially UBIICA. UBIICA had very strong map control. And you can really see... this is one of the reasons why Aragorn's deck is not more popular. Because giving up map control can be devastating in a higher level match. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.